check. What's up, everybody? Check. 1, 2. How's it going? Hope everybody's having a good weekend. It's been a couple weeks since we did a live stream, but we're back. And hope you guys have had a good weekend. What's up? Hey there. Black Knife, hey. What's up, guys? Hope everybody's having a good weekend. Jed, what's up? Did these a couple times in April, or sorry, in March, and I thought we would do a couple more in April. Worst guitar I've ever played. Strangely, I had bought these a long time ago. I got these Jimi Hendrix Strats. These like white Fender Jimi Hendrix limited edition Strats. And I ended up not receiving enough video. I don't know why that is. This is my first time. I got a brand new computer, and so I've been setting everything up, and this is my first time streaming on it. So, but yeah, I got these two Jimi Hendrix Fender Strats, and the first one I got was authentically aged and looked amazing, and but it just sounded super dull. And it was, I ended up picking up another one, and it sounded amazing. And so these were two guitars, same model year, you know, set up as close as I could set them up. But I don't know if it was the wood of the body or what, but one of them, and the weights were different for sure by a decent amount. And one of them just sounded super dull and just wouldn't sustain. And the other one sounded really good. How's the stream? Is it going okay? Can you guys, is it smooth here, or is it, it's talking about buffering, I don't know. No, this is not a Gibson. This is our Woodwright Warlord. This is my first, this was the prototype model. I've actually put some P90 style pickups in this one, but this is a Warlord. You can check them out on the website, doesitdoom.com. We've got the next run of samples is actually supposed to arrive with me this week. The guys at Woodbine up in Canada had got the next run of samples in, and we're able to look them over. We made a few changes, small changes here and there, but they are looking amazing. So hey, Troy, what's up? Hopefully the stream is going good. If anybody could let me know if the stream's been smooth or if it's lagging or what, just let me know. Like I said, this is my first weekend on this new computer. I've been switching all week long. And I don't know, I got this little error up here, which I don't usually get. Usually the stream is pretty smooth. Maybe it was just for a second, but good. Thank you. So yeah, I saw someone said they picked up the Doomcaster. Where was that? Matt Smith picked up the Doomcaster. What is it you liked about it, man? It's a really cool pedal. MOSFET clean boost. Really good for increasing drive and sustain, obviously. Add some compression. Someone's mentioning the Doom Saw. An interesting way to use that Doomcaster is after the Doom Saw. Let me see, do I actually... Yeah, someone's saying, are there any import duties and fees? Sometimes we ship FedEx. It usually only takes a day or two to get up to Canada, but sometimes there's import taxes and sometimes not. But we ship FedEx, and we ship to Canada virtually every week. We ship all over the world every week. That was the Doomsaw. Uh, More grief. I've got a grief tab in the works. Someone's asking me Acid King versus Sleep. I mean, I'm just a giant Sleep fan, so I would say Sleep for me. What pushed me to create the Doomsaw? Well, I think really a couple things. Obviously we've been working with Nick Williams, formerly of Dunwich Amps, and he's done a lot of really cool HM2 style designs over the years, including the Nihilist pedal that he did for Conan, or at least was used on Existential Void Guardian. And then he also did the Tyrant that was used by Nails. And so he'd had a lot of experience with that circuit. And I really enjoyed messing around with trying to get that Conan Existential Void Guardian sound, which was a blend of the Fuzz Throne and Nihilist, which are, the Nihilist was a very limited run pedal. So I thought we would work with Nick to do a HM2 style distortion, and we wanted to do a little something different with it, not make it just a clone, obviously. And we've beefed up the low end a whole bunch. What you were just hearing there was the Doomsaw. So I'm actually running into a Sun Model T, into the center input of a Sun Model T, kind of set around 6. So you can see here I'm into the center input of the Model T. This is a Gen 1 1974 Sun Model T. I've got the bright and normal channels around 6, and so you can hear how So that's a lot of people think the Sun Model T itself is a super high gain amp because they're used to hearing the band Sun, but Sun usually plays with it with the volume around 6 or 7, and that's kind of so not a ton of gain as you can hear, but so Doomsaw, yeah, I mean it's not like a super low noise for Bubba Live or Bub Live 78 asks how's the Doomsaw with noise with the grief cranked. I mean, it is a vicious pedal. I wouldn't say it's more or less noisy than a typical HM2. It's probably right in the same ballpark, but it's certainly not like a super quiet pedal or anything. It's kind of meant to be a bit of a vicious thing. Gargamore, you say you've been eyeing a Doomsaw on Sabbath. Be sure to check out on the website. We've just added a little bundle option to do get free shipping anywhere in the world when you buy 2 or more pedals. And so I put that up on the website on Friday. And so anywhere in the world, 2 pedals or more, up to a max of 4, because that's what we can fit in our FedEx packs. Free shipping anywhere in the world. So for those of you who typically would end up paying, I guess $25 a pedal internationally, it's now free. Troy, yeah, so we've got a few. So I think you joined a little late, but we do have this is our Woodwright Warlord, for anybody wondering. This was a guitar that I did. We started this guitar company last year in partnership with the Woodbine Guitars Custom Shop in Canada. And obviously, this is heavily based off the First Act Custom Shop DC6 model. And our next run, it just finished up the samples, and they ended up at Woodbine in Canada first. Those guys checked them out, signed off on them, sending them to me. Similar, we've changed the carve a little bit, and we've obviously added neck binding, and otherwise very similar, though. We're going to do 4 different colors. I think 4 different finishes this run. We are going to do another run of Tobacco Burst and Silver Burst, but I think we may do, we've talked about doing like a stealth blacked out version. And so like matte black with a black, black binding, everything. We'll still have the split anvil inlays. Obviously, this is the prototype. I put some P90 style pickups in this one because it had dot front markers, but the real deals have the split anvil inlays. And I think we're going to do a blackout version, so like black hardware, matte black finish. It'll still have the anvils, probably a black nut. And we're also going to do a gold burst version. If you've ever seen, the Woodbine guys have kind of become famous for their gold burst, and so I think we're going to do a gold burst. Jack Doe, what do I think about 7-string guitars? Well, if you've seen any of these live streams lately, I just recently got my first couple 7-strings. And I have been enjoying them, probably particularly for drop F tuning, so that you have this C standard guitar with a F note as the 7th string. Pretty fun, because then you can kind of just alternate. When you go that low, like typical drop F, you lose a lot of the high end. So having that 7th string brings it back into the picture, and I like it. James, you're looking to go for heavy gauge set of strings. Would I have to adjust action? Yes. I mean, depending on how heavy you go, you will typically have to adjust actually your nut slot width to accommodate the bigger strings. And then you'll also have to adjust action, intonation, and neck relief. So, and sometimes depending if you're over 70 or so, you might have to actually bore out the tuning peg to accommodate. So really depends. Typically, if you're not going above 70, you don't have to drill out any tuning pegs, but you will have to file out your nut slots and do a full setup on the guitar, really. I did a video last week helping show you how to use the tension calculator over at Stringjoy to figure out exactly what strings you need. And obviously, if you don't have my tuning guide, doesitdoom.com/tuning guide, you can pick that thing up and help you get started on maybe what strings to get started with for down tuning. JA50N asked, how do I tune my guitar and have it stay in tune? Well, there's a lot of factors that come into play there. First of all, you need to make sure you're running a set of strings that are appropriate for your tuning. And second of all, those nut slots really have to be cut correctly. If they're too tight, you can run into issues. And if they're too wide, you can run into issues with tuning stability. So the string kind of needs to be able to move freely in that slot. And then obviously, the right string gauge, so you're not too slack and tension too low for the tuning you're in. Make sure your strings are stretched. Make sure they're wound correctly. I like to do the little locking wind on the peg, but those are the main factors. What's my opinion of the band Ohm? Well, I love the band Ohm. Phenomenal band. I love the whole vibe and the kind of trance-like stuff, I listen to that band a lot. I haven't listened to Celtic Frost in a very long time, but yeah, sure. I put this set of old First Act single coils in this guitar. I have a collection of First Act pickups, And I put these P90 style in this Warlord so that I could kind of do the Sabbath thing. This is a Does It Doom Valpurgis. Will we see you playing with the Fuzzlord guys? We've talked about doing that. Just finding the time to set it all up. Hey man, I'm glad you like that Sabathy. That's this one right here. More Valpurgis pedals. We are working on another batch now. It's really cool. New addition we've got in the works. It's going to obviously be the same pedal, but just a different coating and print color is going to be really cool. I think, William, didn't I teach Venus Blue? What did I teach? I thought I taught Venus Blue, but maybe not. I've got a couple more on Patreon. We've got a couple tabs, I think. So let's see. Hopefully I can show you guys this maybe. So patreon.com/doesitdoom. And then this is where we keep kind of all of the tabs. I release tabs that are otherwise not released, but you can see here Acid Bath, Bleed Me in Ocean, the blue, and then Venus Blue is the lesson that we've got on the channel. So you can check that out. Patreon.com/doesitdoom if you want to check out a couple other tabs. These are all done in Guitar Pro. So there's bass and guitar, and you can print the PDFs. And so every lesson on the channel, plus any with the asterisk next to them, are not released. They're just kind of songs that we put tabs together for, but haven't actually done a lesson for. And there's a lot of them. It's close to 30 now, plus tabs for every other lesson on the channel. So will I do some more Acid Bath? I would assume so at some point. But for now, if you want to check that stuff out, $10 a month, come check it out. Join, check us out on the Discord server. A lot of fun there. That's cool. Sabbath, Bloody Sabbath. So people want a full Snowblind lesson, a full Sabbath, Bloody Sabbath lesson. To be honest, I was going to work on... our tab for Snowblind is on Patreon, and it's killer. It's got all the leads, you know, not taken from anywhere, but just we worked it out. Guitar, bass, all the leads, really killer. If you want to learn that one. And yeah, I was actually planning on doing Symptom of the Universe, I think, and Sabbath, Bloody Sabbath. Was also thinking Hole in the Sky would be fun. Someone asked, what pedal are we most proud of? I'd say the Valpurgis, probably. It was just so much development time. I think it's really unique sounding. The Distortion Principle did a really cool comparison lately of the Valpurgis with the Catlin Bred Sabracadabra, the Tony Iommi TI Boost, and the Laney Supergroup itself, if you want to check that out. Really cool comparison, but I think we really nailed the live 70s, early 70s Sabbath sound with that pedal, and I'm really proud of how it came out. It was a ton of work. It's crazy because it's one knob, right? On the outside, there was so much tuning, because it could be like an 8-knob pedal if we wanted it to, but we wanted to kind of give everyone Sabbath in a box, one knob, and so internally there were so many trim pots, and we spent so long tuning on that thing, and just to have it come out and to see the response, you know. The second batch was a lot of pedals too. The first batch was a lot. The second batch sold out in under 24 hours. And now we're working on the third batch, and hopefully those will be out this month. Soundgarden versus Alice in Chains. For me, it's just Alice in Chains. It was always a darker band to me, probably. You know, I don't know. I've listened to the Dirt record like 30 billion times in my life. So it's always... a lot of people have been wondering if I would teach that stuff, and I think I would if people would wanted to see it, hear it. It's been a long time since I played any of that stuff, but I would do it. It's good shit. I'm always wondering about some of those fringe bands that get requested a lot, and maybe I should do it, maybe I shouldn't. Layer 8. You got the Super Fuzz. Yes, everybody get yourself a Behringer SF300 Super Fuzz. Easily the best way to spend $25 on a dirt pedal. Nothing comes close to being able to sound like a $350 Hyper Fuzz. The Ampeg VH140C. That's the like Brian Patton I Hate God amp, right? Am I right there? Like the amp that Brian always used in I Hate God and Soylent Green. And Jimmy's actually been running his Randall and the VH140 since Brian left the band, I think. If I'm right on that, which I think I am. A good solid state amp. Usually get them pretty cheap. Kai's all right. Again, I'm not like the biggest stoner rock fan, to be honest. It's funny because I guess, you know, most people who are way into the doom genre do like stoner rock, but I'm just not the biggest stoner rock fan. So when people ask about Caius or Acid King or you know, Red Fang or just the more traditional stoner rock stuff. It's not you. I like more dissonant sounding, slower sounding stuff. But I do, you know, I like those bands. I just don't. That's probably why you see less lessons on the channel. Although, again, we do have a couple really good Caius lessons on the channel. Got requested so much that I finally just did it. Cadaver, yeah, it's a good band. You know, they've got that vintage kind of sound, 60s, 70s sound going. I always thought I was really into Witchcraft, those first 3 Witchcraft albums, and I thought Cadaver kind of revived that style a little bit when they first hit the scene. We do have some Uncle Acid on Patreon. I haven't taught it. I think Mount Abraxas I've got tabbed out on Patreon, really nice. Layer 8, yeah, Yob stuff is hard. It took me forever to learn the bit of a blaze that I taught on the channel. So it's hard. And that's why I don't do it more, because Mike's a beast, and his guitar playing ability is, even his rhythm, far exceeds mine. Usually I can keep up with most of these guys on the rhythm stuff especially, but when it comes to Mike's rhythm playing, it's so unique. We do have, again, I think we've got Marrow up on Patreon, and let me see. Let's see. I forget. We've got so many of these songs, you know. Let's see what we got for Yob. Yeah, so we've got a Blaze, and this is the full tab, not just what I taught on the channel, and then we've got a really good tab for Marrow. But when I taught a Blaze, I probably taught just a couple riffs from it. Had a lot of people request Seer right now. That's just a bonus tab, but Truck Fighter is another desert or stoner rock band. Uncle Acid here. So check it out, $10 a month. Really easy way to learn all your favorite songs. We put a ton of time into all these tabs. You got over 100 of them. If you were paying to have them done, they'd probably cost $100 each to have done, but you can get them for the whole lot for $10. Cabs and amps. We don't have any Kylesa, actually. Do I like Graveyard? Yeah, I've seen Graveyard live. Do I like Dope Smoker? The band. I don't think I've heard them. Would a Doomsaw sound good on bass blended with a muff style fuzz? You'd have to try that one out. That'd be a lot of low end, probably. So for bass, maybe good. You have to try it out. Like I said, make sure if you guys are checking out pedals on the site, you check out our new free shipping worldwide when you get 2 or more. It's a little bundle on the website. How does the OR compare? I don't have it plugged in. Sorry, I stole the cord there. The OR is a fuzzier amp for sure. You know, the Model T without pedals sounds like this. This is a Model T, no pedals. definitely doesn't sound like Sun, does it? Not until you kick the rat on. But yeah, Model T. This is Model T with into the center channel. Doom Mancha. Yes, the guitarist of Crowbar. Kirk does use a Boss Metal Zone into a Randall RG100, but he sets the metal zone up as a boost. So gain at 0, level at full, and EQ at noon. And that's how to get the Crowbar tone. You got to run it into a Randall RG100 ES. That's the Dimebag amp. That's the I Hate God amp. That is the Acid Bath amp. And you can get them for somewhere around $700, $800, $900 these days. They're from the mid 80s. And yeah, you hit it with a metal zone set as a boost and tune to B standard, and you got yourself some Crowbar tone. Yeah, we've got a grief lesson in the works. Let me see here. What song? Again, this one's not actually released. But shit, I don't even have it. I did see that. Third Man releasing Dope Smoker and Hot Lava Man. That's kind of cool. I don't know what's guitar body is best for drop D. The best guitar body in general, though, is this Warlord. I feel confident about saying that. Bartek, I look very doomy. Thank you. Last time I grew out my hair, it was brown, which was like 2007. And then I grew it out over COVID, and it's white because I'm old. What your preferred? Noah Benson is asking, my preferred speakers for Doom. Well, this old green Mad Amp cab behind me has become my favorite as of late. It is a mid-2000s cab made in the UK by Mad Amp, and it's got a set of Celestian Hot 100s in it, which just seem to work at really low tunings for me. And I've been playing a lot in F standard, drop F, pretty low stuff lately, and I really like how that thing sounds. How old am I? I'm 39. I'll be 40 this year. Thoughts on the Super Fuzz 300? I mean, I think my video on the SF300 versus the Behringer or versus the Hyperfuzz is like the video that started the channel. It's my most heavily watched video on the channel still, with a couple 100,000 views probably at this point, so go check it out. But I love that pedal. I'm always recommending that pedal. I think earlier in the live stream, I told everyone, go get it. Thoughts on JHS pedals? I don't have any in particular. I thought that that rat he came out with lately was pretty cool. I thought about getting my hands on that. Thought that was a neat idea. But they've done a great job building their brand. And I got to respect that. It's a lot of work. Blood H, I mean, I would recommend closed cabs. You know, you're going to give up an open cab typically isn't going to have the bass response, in my opinion. I mean, you may find contrary to that, but I would go with a closed back cab if you can. My favorite IRs, so I actually use, let me see. Let me give you guys a little look behind the scenes here of what I use. Somehow got, so I use this 2 notes. This is the Torpedo Remote, and this is, again, I just redid my computer, but this is an orange PPC 412 HP8, so it's got G12 K100 speakers in it, and I use this one a lot. I also like their 2x15 Fat Papa for like drone stuff. It's really cool. And I like and in terms of my speakers, I mentioned that green, but I also love the old Sun 2x15 back there, which has the JBL D140F 15s in it. Really fun for kind of jamming, you know, especially by yourself, to add just a ton of the low end thunder. But yeah, I use this a lot for all the lessons and whatnot, and it's what I'm using, what I've got here today. Kazuki, any more Boris lessons planned? We've got a Akuma no Uta tabbed on Patreon. I don't know if I'll do a lesson, but I may. Hey, thanks, guys. That's the Doomsaw through a Sun Model T. In, I guess that would be drop B flat tuning. Bullet V1, thoughts on using the neck pickup with tone rolled all the way down? That gets pretty thick. A lot of these, like I notice bands that tune higher, I feel like that works really well. Like if you're in D standard tuning or drop D tuning, I find that works really well. You'll notice, like if you ever listen to Shep and Weed Eater, I think they tune a D standard. He's always on the neck pickup. I don't know if his tone is rolled off, but like Jimmy Bauer, they're in C, but on the bridge pickup with the tone rolled off. You don't hear a lot of people, I think, rolling tone off and going on neck, but I assume if you're tuning higher, that could work really good. I think as you get really low, like if you're trying to play, say, below B standard, I think it's going to be a little muddy. I've actually got a. How come there are no doomy jazz bands? I mean, Sabbath has some pretty awesome jazz parts, and I feel like that's one thing that nobody ever can imitate is the jazziness of Sabbath, or at least few and far between. I had a buddy who did this like drone style jazz stuff, and it's super badass. I'm glad you like the Doom Saw, man. Well, James, I mean, you got to give it a shot. Maybe that's on you, man. Doom reggae and doom jazz. I think it's rare to have people who are massive fans of both genres, maybe, although I love all three genres. But I can't play jazz really at all, and I can't play reggae, so. Bongzilla has an awesome guitar tone. One really cool thing is Jeff has been using, Spanky there has been using the Valpurgis live, which is really, really neat. And he said they wrote a song with it without using just straight into his Mad amps. I think he said, yeah, I guess I don't know if it's a public song, so I won't talk about it much. But he said they got that thing, the Valpurgis, and it kind of inspired them to write a song. So that's pretty cool. I'm interested to hear that when it comes out. Goat snake lessons, yeah, we need to do that. It's true. I have not played a Dean Costello amp. They sound great, though. I always do think it's a really cool aspect of Iommi's playing, especially on the first couple records, Paranoid and the self-titled. There's just lots of jazz elements going on. I think for a Bongzilla style tone, I mean those guys traditionally are using a Big Muff and Mad amps, right? So that's probably would be where I would start. the pickups in this particular Warlord are an old set of first act P90s that I had lying around. This is the prototype Warlord, right? Unbound neck, dot inlays. This is the very first one we got. And I thought it'd be fun to do some, to have one with P90s so I could do some Sabbath style lessons and whatnot. And I guess I still got heavy strings on it though, so. I don't know. In terms of pickups, most of my pickups just have low output PAFs or P90s. Whiskey University. When do I think Warlords will be available? So our next run of samples is due to arrive this week here with me, and they were at Woodbine last week, and he sent them over FedEx. So I should be seeing them, and I would guess it sounds like we're good to go, and we're probably 3 months out. And I'm not going to do a pre-order this time. We're just going to get them here, get them all good to go, boxed up, and then we're going to sell them. So be on the lookout. I guess July, August is what I would think. Junkyard God, no lefty Warlords yet. I would think run 3 will do some lefties, unfortunately. It's just, it is not easy to get that shit done. I can promise you that. Just in general, the process is a lot of work. Do I find using tube distortion pedals necessary? I've never had, like, I assume you mean a distortion pedal with a tube, which I don't typically use. Kieran, how can I get a Woodbine to the UK? We shipped a couple. We ship worldwide, everything. So you'll be able to get one in the UK. I think we shipped 2 to the UK and 1 to Australia on the first run. A couple to Canada. James, this is single coils. This is a single coil P90 style pickup in this guitar. So yes, absolutely. Lots of bands do. Greg Anderson has used a single coil in Sun. Oh yeah, Iommi used single coils in Sabbath. Dude in Bong Ripper uses a single coil, so plenty of examples. I would say probably not Strat style single coils typically, but the higher output P90 style. Really great pickup. It's just fun. This is our Valpurgis, so it's meant to have that Sabbath sound, right? But it's really cool how P90s respond to volume, right? They just... What is the weirdest guitar you've ever played on? Probably the first act 12 string that I had. It's kind of a weird thing to play. A little bit. Solid body 12 string. I actually sold it recently. But that is probably the weirdest guitar I've ever played on. Do I have any more plans of doing Melvin's lessons? If you want to throw requests out there, just go to doesitdoom.com, hit the requests button up at the top. Let me show you guys if you want. You go to doesitdoom.com here, and if you want to throw me a request, you just come here, drop it right here, and email address, first name, song, lesson, demo, request, and it goes on my list, which is what I check to determine what song lessons I'm going to do. And generally, if something gets requested a lot, it becomes a candidate for a lesson. So, doesitdoom.com. Yeah. Like I said, guys, if you're wanting to take advantage of our new free shipping when you buy 2 or more pedals, here it is. Come here, click here, and you can bundle, and 2 or more pedals free shipping anywhere in the world. So save yourself 10, 20, 50 bucks by choosing from this bundle here. Brandon Bain, that's right. He does. One of the guys from Bong Ripper's been using a Telly. I mean, they use a lot of... The other guy used a Les Paul for a long time, 24 3/4 inch scale, but the Telly would obviously have 25.5. If I was going to play a Telly, I would definitely get the humbucker version, you know, which is what the dude in Bong Ripper is playing. Baritone Telly, that's cool. Steve should do some Bong Ripper. I think, again, on Patreon we've got a really good tab for Reefer Sutherland, and then I've been working on Hale. I don't want to live in a world where Tony didn't pick up a guitar after chopping his fingertips off. Yeah, man, Patreon, again, I think it's tremendous value for $10 a month. Cancel anytime. Save 15% if you join for a year. 100 tabs, new tabs every month, all in Guitar Pro, so they're interactive. And you could also get our Sound Slice video tabs, which are synced with the videos, but just very easy way to learn songs. You could transpose things, speed things up, slow things down, all meticulously transposed by me and the guys. So super accurate. Make learning really fun, really easy. And of course, I've got a scale guide to help you learn scales, as well as my intervals guide, and the Discord community, Facebook groups, just a ton of shit going on there for $10. If you don't like it, after you sign up, hit me up and I'll refund you. You can cancel free of charge, guaranteed to be badass. We've had thousands of members, so I think there's a reason for that. Yes, the next run of Woodbine guitars, again, is in hopefully May. Hopefully July. August. Hopefully have them in hand for sale, 4 finishes. Badass. We made a few changes to the carve. And of course, we did bound necks. And pretty excited about it. This is a Sun Model T you're hearing in this video. So to me, the biggest thing about the Sun Model T is just the amount of low end you're going to get, because it's got the KT or the 6550s or KT88s in the power section. More power, more bass, and I think that's why it just has a lot more bass than a standard EL34 power tube guitar amp. And but overall, it's besides that, it's this is a Model T. This is that's the gain you're gonna get out of a Model T on 10. What have I been listening to recently? Funny enough, so a lot of Entombed. We put out the Doom Saw, and tons of people have been doing like Entombed style demos, and so it's got me kind of hooked in there. I think I'm gonna do a lesson on Drowned. Is that cool? What would people think of that? Hey Eric Marrow. What's up? What's up, man? How are you? Good to see you. Hopefully we could do a lefty for you soon, man. Yeah, I think everybody, because of everybody, hears sun and it's just way less gainy than, way less gainy than expected, I would think. But because it's got all that bass, you can just hit it with anything, and it just maintains that bass response, which is why it has become my favorite amp, probably. But I figure if you get, I have to figure a lot of KT88 based 140, 150 watt amps are going to sound like that. It's got me curious about a Mad Amp GT150. I can say that. I've been pretty just curious. I don't know if I'd pay $5,000 for a Model T. I mean, that is the deal. I saw a buddy who just picked up a Gen 1 and a Gen 2 for $5,000 total, so that was a good deal, I guess. Mine I bought before the major price hikes, thankfully. Oh, that's cool, Mark. Using a Boss Metal Zone as an equal EQ and volume for the Doom Saw. That's cool. Ron Bain, yep. I was born and raised in Windsor, Ontario. Well, born in Ontario, raised in Windsor. So I'm familiar. The Ground Effects Burning Sun, I think it was a good pedal. It's a good pedal. I mean, a lot of the preamp stuff, I think what's difficult is to hit that bass response that's coming from the high-powered amp, Yeah, I love the Obsessed, man. Why no? Hey, thanks, dude. Hey, so the best way to honestly control a really loud pedal like that that I know of is something like our Doomcaster MOSFET booster. At least it's a way I use it. Is when you've got super loud pedals, you could get something like that allows you to attenuate, not only boost, and you can cut the volume down. So it's kind of wasn't something we intended, but we did these pedals that have like the internal master volumes, like the Valpurgis, or is inherently loud pedal like the Doom Saw. And if you get something like our Doomcaster, you can run it after that pedal as a volume control, because it's a big, wide range, transparent, clean boost that also allows attenuation. So that's a cool way, and I'm not saying you have to buy that, but I'm sure there's other pedals out there that allow you to attenuate down, and that is a problem with the Destroyer. The distortion side just adds a shit ton of volume, right? So. What Vitus lesson? I've done, you guys are making me think. I've never taught Born Too Late, but I do have Dying Inside and Dragon Time on the channel if you want to check those out. Death metal, I usually use stuff like phasers after dirt, but have seen people recently using them in front. Stoned, yes. Bongzilla, I think I've got Green Thumb, Sunday Driver. What else? Definitely lesson coming. I don't know if I've ever if even on Patreon we have any of that stuff, but let me see. No Bongzilla yet. I know we've got them in the works, and it just comes down to when they get released. So every month on Patreon, there's a new, there is a kind of bonus tab that goes up, and like I said, we're close to 30 now, plus all the tabs that are available on the channel. And so I'll release something that I haven't taught a lesson for, and oftentimes stuff like that will end up there. Hey, Mark. Glad you like the new Walpurgis case. Yeah, it's going to be, we've got a new version of the Valpurgis in production right now, which has a different color scheme. It's going to be really cool. Corey, any plans to review the demo of the Swamp Lord? No immediate plans, no. Stone, thank you for the super chat, by the way. I appreciate that, man. But rather than super chat me, go take that $10 and go over to Patreon and sign up and get shit tons of cool stuff instead for $10. I would much rather prefer you in that community. Could do a neurosis lesson at some point, yeah. Man, it's been a long time since I've been back to Windsor because my parents moved away, so it's just rare for me to get back up there. Maybe we cross paths, Kyle, at some point. How old are you? Were you there during the Coach and Horses days and the loop and stuff like that? Pogos? Doomiest Aussie song post-Sabbath. Jeez, I haven't listened to Aussie stuff post-Sabbath in a long fucking time. Next Walpurgis drop, we're building the circuits now. We've got the enclosures at the printer. Made the decision on the enclosure and print colors last week. I would say we'll have them all together by the end of this month for sure. Maybe the last week of April. Be cool. We'd love to get. I mean, the last round sold out super fast. The first round sold out super fast. So we're building a bunch, but I can't say how long they'll be. Just make sure you're on the email list so you get notified when they drop. You know what? Well, I do have a Bongzilla tab, I feel like. Yeah, I do have a couple Bongzilla tabs already up. I didn't even, I don't know why. I must have missed it. But yeah, we do have a Marijuanakin and Sunday Driver. Which Sunday Driver, like I was saying, I planned to do to do a lesson on that one. But guitar, bass, and drums. We've been doing guitar and bass and drums sometimes. But PDF is in there, and also Guitar Pro. I actually need to install Guitar Pro on this new computer. I don't have it, so. Just now getting into Doom. Good amp to start with. Something loud with a lot of headroom. You know, I like vintage sounding amps, so not too high gain. That's my preference anyways. I don't even know the specs on the new computer. I hear a lot of people talking about Acid Mammoth. Haven't listened to them. Gonna need to. Play Volt Thrower. It's not going to sound very good because I'm in drop B flat. Yeah, that song, part of the key there is to be in drop F. Of course, I'm in drop B flat, so. But that was the Doomsaw distortion to get that existential Void Guardian style tone. Yeah, active pickups are tough. I mean, if you're going to use a lot of pedals, then it's kind of going to add too much compression, I think. Kind of gets fizzy. If you're not, if you're running straight into an amp, I think they could sound really good. Like if you listen to Dope Throne, the band, Vincent's using EMGs, but he doesn't run any dirt into his orange. He's just kind of running EMGs. Sabbath Live, no, I didn't. I had lots of opportunities and just kind of never did. I should say, I mean, I was alive during plenty of opportunities, but um, generally work kept me away. Electric. What's my favorite Electric Wizard song? I really like Electric Wizard, Electric Wizard. It's a cool song. My favorite guitar I own is probably one of my own. Probably one of my old First Acts, maybe my black First Act custom shop guitar. Just because I've had it so long and I hunted it down so relentlessly. Yeah, I mean, I had plenty of times where, obviously, I've like loved Black Sabbath since probably around the time that the original Reunion record came out was when I got into Sabbath really big. A few months before that, maybe the summer before that record came out. So that's when I kind of. It's a long time. I've used Reaper a bit for recording software, but honestly, I do a lot of my stuff right in my video, um, right in the software I'm using right now. So I record directly in here. I don't do a lot of most of my stuff that I record has video attached to it, and so I just record it right in this software called vMix. But it's really not what you want to use just for straight up recording. It's nothing special. Yeah, favorite tone from Electric Wizard. I love the first album. Uh, the self-titled record is a really badass tone, I feel, and then the next couple records with the hyperfuzz. I think I love all that era. Doom bands with interesting composition. I think Yob's pretty interesting. Boris Sleep. Sleep, I guess, is just pentatonic riffs, but Jacob scores. And how many guitars do I have? I've been trying to thin the herd. Um, I have too many. Have I heard Wishbone Ash? Yes. I have not ever checked out Thy Grief Eternal. Yeah, man. Like last time I was in Windsor, the Coach and Horses was probably still there. Um, that place is where I spent just a lot of time there. Yeah, I mean, there's a really cool Honer SG on Reverb right now. I think it's like 550. I had one. It looks like a Gibson um, SG Deluxe from 71. I like shopping those weird things, or like cool Epiphones or whatever, as opposed to like cheap Gibsons, because I feel like in the $500 to $600 range, you're gonna get like, you know, you get better bang for your buck buying some of the cheaper stuff. Yeah, I like my Vipers. I've got a couple ESP Vipers that are badass. Um, yeah, the monsters may kill you. I just like them. Um, I do for about half a year. I've been doing like intermittent fasting, one meal a day, and these get kind of get me through the afternoon. Drone wasn't that difficult for me to get into. I think if you're really into like massive guitar tone, it's easy. I think I like slow, dissonant music in general. So yeah, man, intermittent fasting is badass. I've done it like 3 times in my life, and I lost about 40 pounds this time doing it. And I basically just eat between 4 and 7 p.m. and that's it. Um, Besides this 30 calorie or 10 calorie monster, but I was like 225 and now I'm like 182 or three, and great way to lose a shit ton of weight without like depriving yourself of anything. So I eat whatever I want basically. Still have some beers here and there, but I cut out a lot of the alcohol too, which sucks, but you know. Yeah, alcohol is the emptiest of calories, but so good, right? Why is it so delicious? plug-in reviews. So it's not a space I know much about, you know, like I'm obsessed with gear. So it's a little difficult for me to review that stuff because I don't know anything about it. But it is something I'm interested in. I know a lot of people love that stuff, and so I'm getting a little more interested in learning more about it. Revelation solo project. Have you considered getting an SF300 Super Fuzz, the Behringer, $25? It's probably your best bet, I would think. It sounds exactly like the real thing. I haven't played in a band in a long time. I was in a band here in Charlotte for a bit, but I don't have time right now. Maybe later on if I can stop. Like right now, I do all the Does It Doom stuff, all the products that we do, and all the lessons, and I have a full-time job and a couple kids, so I don't have any time for a band right now. But hopefully at some point I can transition to making this my full-time job, in which case maybe I could do a band again. Probably once my kids get a bit older. Favorite thing about making pedals, we've got such a fucking great group of guys that we working with on the pedal side of the company, and it's really fun because we work with Nick Williams, formerly of Dunwich Amps, who is, in my opinion, like the king of analog dirt, and he could do almost anything we could dream up. He could design, you know. So it's been really fun working with him. I've got pedals scattered all over this room that you can't see, prototypes and all sorts of shit everywhere. Almost anything we could dream up, we can do, and it's been just really fun to work with him. And then all the engineers we've got kind of working together. I'm a mechanical engineer, and we pulled in just a whole bunch of different guys I've worked with over the years and know. And so the pedal side of the company, it's been really fun. It's we've got so many awesome designs coming for you guys this year, and I can't wait to get them out. Yeah, I think you shouldn't get a treble booster. You should get a Valpurgis. A treble booster running into a Laney Supergroup preamp. Under the Sun. Can I remember it, do you think? Sorry. Haven't played that song in a very long time. Check out my lesson if you on the channel, Under the Sun. $1,000 budget, favorite options. I mean, I would be shopping used for sure. I don't, there's a lot in that range of $1,000, I think, especially on the used market. Flat wound strings, I like them. I've used them. They definitely reduce output and pull some high end out of your sound. So, but it's it's its own thing. I like it. Self-medicated blues. I don't have a lesson for that one. I've never played that song. Yeah, we've shipped plenty of pedals to Germany. We ship worldwide every week. We've shipped to some remote places. But we ship FedEx, so usually arrives within a couple days. If you haven't, be sure to check out our free shipping deal on the website. But come down here. It's in here, Shop Pedals. Free shipping when you buy 2 or more worldwide, so save yourself a bunch of cash. And especially international, you get a couple pedals and save $25-50 shipping. So we've had a bunch of people take advantage of this weekend. So hopefully it's something you guys like. And we limit to 4 pedals per order because that's all we can fit in the FedEx bags. But everything's in stock right now except for the Valpurgis. So we've still got a few Hypercoven. We built 20 of them for this weekend. Still got a couple left. And we're working on another round of these guys. Where do we go? So I don't have a telly. I've never had one. I've always wanted to get a double humbucker telly, kind of. Yeah, I think it's worth getting a cab. Why not? But I'm a bad person to ask because I haven't played a show in a long time, and I've got a fucking room full of firepower here. But anyways, guys, I think I'm going to get going. We've been on for quite some time here, and I hope you enjoyed it. We will, if you guys like this, let me know, and we will be back with another one later this month. I want to do a couple of these every month because it's a lot of fun doing Q&A and just hanging out with you guys. So I hope you like it. And we will see you all next time. Thanks for coming out.